Hello, in this video we're looking at the Gigo number 1159 piston. It's the air and water powered system. So let's open it up and see what we got inside. So here we have a nice full colored manual with lots of detailed instructions. On the first page you have an introduction to all the components and how each part works, so you can take a look and learn something about what's in here. And here's a detailed list of parts and how everything connects together, because we're going to have to build it. And then it explains how the system works and what exactly is happening inside. So should we go ahead and build it? Let's do that and see what happens. So here's the list of parts that come inside. So there's a couple of hoses of different sizes, and we're actually going to have to cut them up into smaller pieces. Then you can see some of the other parts that are involved. So now we'll have to read the instructions to see how to put all of this together. So as you can see, I've cut the hoses into the required parts. So let's build it. So here's the grid that forms the base. So we'll snap that together. So let's stick the third piece here. We have to make sure everything connects properly, since all the main pieces are going to stick on top of this. So here's the first piece. This is the pump. And you can see at the bottom of the pump, you have little connectors that connect it to the base grid. We have to make sure everything's nice and secure. The next piece over here is the recycled water storage. Now you can see I've already put some water in there and connected one of the hoses. So we'll secure that. And then next we have the air and water storage that we're going to connect next. So first we're sticking all these items on the base plate. Later we'll hook up all the hoses to it to make everything work. And lastly here we have the switch. So there's a lot of small pieces that make up this switch, so I've already connected some of these together. So we'll make sure everything's nicely in place, and then we'll stick it on the bottom of the grid. Make sure everything's nice and secure. So once this is done, we have to hook up all the hoses, and there's lots of small hoses that you now see that I've hooked up. So are you ready to see how this works? All right, here we go. So we'll start with the pump on the left. As I pull it up, it's sucking water. You can see the water coming in from the tube, and it's pushing the water out into the tall cylinder. So you can see the water level in the tall cylinder is increasing. So now that we've moved water into there, we're going to play with the switch. And as I move the switch one way, it starts pumping the water back into the recycled water storage. So you can just push the switch back and forth, and it pumps the water back. So essentially we have a system where you start with the pump on the left to take the water from the recycled water storage into the air and water storage, and then you play with the pump on the right to put the water back from where it came from. So you can go back and forth with this and see how, and you notice there's no batteries or anything being used here. You're just using air and water to move the system. So initially you're using your own energy. Obviously I'm pumping this myself, but you can see on the right, when I move the switch, that's just air that's pushing the water through the tubes back from where it came from. So this is a good way to see how air and water work together to create power. Hope you liked it.